Nick, were you a little bit upset to see somebody else taking your quarterback spot at Fresno State, since that's where you had started your game a couple years ago?
No, really. I was just glad to be back in the stadium and get a little revenge on those guys. So I had no bad thoughts about it. I thought Christian played great, and it was awesome to see him playing that, and I was having a blast playing fullback, so everything worked out.
Dakota, what's happened with this defense in the last 2 weeks? I mean, you guys haven't given up a single point, haven't given up a touchdown in the last 2 games. The previous 3 games, you gave up, I think it was 110 some odd points. I know there's variables there, but did anything change 2 weeks ago in the mindset of this defense or in the coaching of this defense?
Yeah, Coach Long mentioned it after, I think it was our second win. We can't be satisfied. No matter what we do on the field, there's always going to be small mistakes, big mistakes, and we got to learn from those every week and approach it as trying to be better every week. No matter what we do, how we perform, we got to go out there and we can't be satisfied with how we performed last week.
Christian, Rocky says this team you're facing this Friday has kind of turned the corner. They won their last game. What have you seen on them thus far, and any threats to you that you see?
Yeah, they're kind of similar to Fresno State. They kind of run the same defense a little bit. We don't know what kind of game plan they're going to put against us yet. They haven't played any offense like us this year, like power, running the ball like we do. So we'll see what they do. They might try to do what Fresno did a little bit, play off with their DBs, and then just come at the run.
What do you think about the opportunities to be able to pass off those situations where they're stacking the line so much against you?
Yeah, that's usually what we try to do, take our shots when they're trying to stack the box. Something Fresno State did last week that was pretty good is they weren't allowing those shots. They were giving us a short game, but they weren't allowing us to get the deep balls like we usually do, and then they're just playing the run.
What do you think about these Friday night games?
I like them. Reminds me of high school a little bit. Get to play on Friday, and then on Saturday kind of relax, watch the rest of college football, and just enjoy the day.
Nick, Coach kind of talked about this, but when he called you into his office and said, you're not going to play quarterback anymore, you're going to play fullback from now on, what was what was going through your head?
At first, it kind of brought me down, because I had always played quarterback my whole life since my freshman year of high school, and that was my dream. So, in life, things change and dreams change, so you just got to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. And I was thankful that Coach Long was giving me an opportunity to play another position here. And when he told me it was fullback, I was kind of surprised at first because it's a pretty physical position coming from quarterback there. But I've just tried to take as much coaching as I can since I've switched positions and do as much research as I can to try to be the best player I can for this team.
And, because Coach kind of talked about when most players, when they get told you're not going to play quarterback or whatever position you want, they request a transfer. What kind of made you stay here?
Well, he gave me a few days to kind of talk it over with my parents and see what the pros and cons were. We kind of put it on lists and to kind of visualize what I wanted to do. And I just really loved the way how that the program was on the rise here, and I wanted to be a part of it. I love everything the coaches preach around here, and I've really taken that to heart about trying to be a team player for San Diego State football.
Christian, being a quarterback, do you appreciate kind of the sacrifice that he made to stay here? I mean, can you imagine doing what Nick's done?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the selflessness we have on guys on this team. Nick switching positions and still sticking to the team. We have a bunch of guys that's been able to do that. Brunskill going from tight end to lineman, just the selflessness these guys had to just make this team better and do what they can to make this team better. It shows a lot about their character and what they're willing to do for the team.
Can you imagine becoming a fullback?
I don't think fullback would be my position. I don't think I'm big enough.
Well, if you had to switch to another position, what would it be?
I would say wide receiver, but I think Coach would have something else to say about that.
Speaking of your wide receivers, are they getting a little antsy? Are they coming back into the huddle saying, hey, when are you going to get us the ball? Because, I mean, obviously you want to spread it around and keep everybody involved, and I'm sure as the quarterback you realize that they didn't get the ball last week.
Yeah, It's something, it's kind of weird type of thing that happened. I know they play this type of coverage. We try to get our receivers the ball, but it's something that didn't happen. We got our tight ends the ball, and they limited us in our passing game, and so we just stuck to the run game. We were doing great with that. And whatever we have to do to win, I mean, I'll throw 6 balls if we have to win. I'll throw 30 if we have to win. Anything we got to do to help this team win.
Speaking of that, getting the ball to Nick a couple times in the game, I mean, how useful is that to have him coming out of the backfield? I mean, we had Dakota coming out of the backfield a little bit last year.
Yeah, when these defenses on third down, third and long, second and long want to play coverage, you know, gotta have those checkdowns and give it to guys like this. We're able to make a play and get 10 yards, get that first down, and continue these drives. It's a great strength we have, and just continue to do that.
We were talking with Coach Long a little bit about social media and how it's different than in his age when it was more a newspaper or something you might post up on a bulletin board. How do you guys take that social media? Is that real smack talk that really fires you up, or is it just that's kind of how things are these days?
We have a team rule that we don't talk about our team or other teams, and it kind of keeps our head out of that because it's really easy to get caught up in that and really easy to kind of lose focus in your preparation for the game that week. So we don't have any guys who are up there talking about anybody else or our team, and I think that's really smart. I think that's a great way to do it because it is a huge distraction, and it is a new age thing that's kind of taking the world by storm in the sports area, and especially in college when kids are kind of irresponsible with it. So, yeah.
Tough not to respond.
No, I mean, we just talk about it on the field, you know, with our play.
Rocky seems to think, though, that you guys, or there are some guys who talk smack with other guys they know from another team. You know, that it's not necessarily we're going to beat you guys, you know, out there, but it's kind of back and forth between guys. Do any of you guys go back and forth with other guys that you know on other teams or anything?
For me, not so much. You know, I'll see a few guys from back home on another team, and it's more just after the game we'll talk and stuff. Before the game, I don't even like talking to them. You know, just kind of keep my focus, and I'll talk to them after the game, take pictures or whatnot. But before the game, I like to keep my head clear and away from all distractions.
For any of you, they kind of ask Coach, they're saying that, you know, people on message boards and stuff just think San Diego State should be blowing every team out. So if the game is close, that maybe you guys aren't playing up to your potential. Do you guys pay attention to that at all when people say that kind of stuff?
We don't really pay attention to what they say about that. We're just there to win the game. We're there to play as hard as we can for 4 quarters and not give up on any plays. So if the score isn't what the fans want, then we're working as hard as we can to put as many points as we can up on the board. But we're just really there to get the win and go on to the next week.
I'm kind of curious, guys. Are there any team rules for social media? Because I know NFL and MLB have team rules, and like I follow the basketball players on Twitter, and they just go all out. They have no rules at all. So, but like, are there like any team rules or boundaries Coach sets as far as social media use?
Just like what's in the locker room stays in the locker room type thing. Don't mention anything. It's kind of like a team thing and just stuff like that.
You guys thought about this week's game. You guys could be bowl eligible with another win. Is that come through your minds much, or is that just kind of, you know, as you march forward, that those kind of things happen?
It's been brought up. You know, we know this is the game to get bowl eligible. And it's a goal in our mind, of course, and it's something that we're looking forward to. You know, get another win at home and be bowl eligible, and kind of get that out of the way, and then keep going forward and, you know, work our way up to a championship.